5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. Now, here's Tom Silverstein.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. This is our holiday edition. It's Christmas Eve, and you are at home, and I am at home, and the Packers are 11-4.
Yeah, I had to get up early so I could do this show to make sure I help you keep being famous.
Yeah,
you don't
well,
me,
it's a lot of work.
No one ever would know. No, I think if we took a poll, I think more the fans like you than me.
I kind of doubt that.
No, because
in a big way.
I think it's your blogging people. You have a good mixture with them when they ask good or bad questions.
They love me when the Packers are winning, and they hate me when the Packers are losing. So
they're just like me then. Okay, so I do the same.
Right. Sometimes they hate me when the Packers are winning too. So
it's all good.
Yeah. So 34-0 over the New Orleans Saints. I don't know that we need to spend a lot of time on that game. Obviously, an overmatched Saints team, but to get a shutout anywhere in the NFL is pretty.
What if the only one in the first one of the season?
Right.
It's more defense is better than the Packers statistically. They didn't get a shutout.
Their defense is pretty good, New Orleans.
Their defense played hard.
I think they were partly responsible for Green Bay's kind of inconsistency passing the ball. I think their coverages were really good.
Yes.
I didn't see a lot of wide open guys for Jordan Love. Did you see that?
Let me I think I know why. I don't know if I'm correct or not, but Christian Watson is his guy.
Mm-hmm.
If he's that open, give it to him.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole stadium erupted. Oh, this is a touchdown. But were y'all able to ask my nephew about that? Why didn't he throw it to?
I can't remember exactly what he said, but my impression is that because it was short yardage, it was like 3rd and 2, he was thinking get it to Kraft and get the first down, and was maybe hyper focused on that. But man, you gotta in a game against Minnesota or something like that, you gotta find Christian Watson, because there wasn't anybody within an acre of him. He was so wide open. But I buy what you're saying too. I think
if it was anybody else, okay. But that's our deep threat.
Yeah.
We ran, I don't know for sure. I say we because I'm on the staff, but sometimes fans, you feel like you are. I'm calling this play for number 9. He's your first and only option on this play.
Mm-hmm.
If he's double covered, yes, 85. Tucker Kraft, here you go. Now, Tucker had a great run, though, to be honest. I love seeing 85 with the ball in his hands. Yeah. But can I give you my theory?
Mm-hmm.
Why he didn't throw it? I think Jordan said to himself, I have not thrown an interception since the bye week, I think. I don't know if I'm correct about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to take any chances. I'm just going to manage the game.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to win the game.
Yeah.
But he had to go up because receivers, you know how they are, Tom. They get frustrated when they don't get the ball and they wide open. Open is different than wide open.
Yeah, and I mean, you're right. He did manage the game, and when your defense is totally dominating the other side, I don't know. They took chances on that one drive. It was in the 3rd quarter. Remember, they went deep like 3 times and missed it. They'd have been much better off just continuing to grind. And continuing to move the ball and don't give your opponent a chance to somehow get back in the game. And I think he took that to heart after that drive. I think he found ways to just keep drives going, throw the ball away when he had to.
Yes. And I was happy about that. I was happy. You do a double screen, throw it in the ground, live to see another day.
Yeah.
You get in traffic, throw it away. The ball is the issue. But he's corrected that. And now you got to go on instinct. But that'll be as if, which would be hard, if Fritz Shermer said, okay, we're going with smoke solid B. That means I get to blitz the B gap. And I go up in there, and it's the exact same coverage that Larry Brooks on our side, the defensive line coach, we're going to have Santana and Gilbert open it up for you. And it's right there, and I stop because I think they're going to run a screenplay. Two things can be true. Yes, they may run a screenplay, but it ain't your play. I called for you to go to the quarterback. And he's sitting there patting, go get him. And then he throws a touchdown because I didn't go get him.
Right.
And then Doug Evans come back to me and say, listen, no more Sprite for you. But, hey, again, I get it. But that's one he's going to want back. But I think he'll learn something now because he was very aggressive, to start the year. But I know we spent a lot of time on it, but I've been asked about that play since I left Lambeau. I said, oh, he's good. He's good. He's good. And he is playing very well.
Yeah.
But,
they have to continue to find what works for them. And, this time they tried to attack the perimeter of the Saints defense with their end arounds. I kind of wonder if any of that was to keep Minnesota on their toes too, that, don't jam up the box against Josh Jacobs because we'll run it to the perimeter against you. I'm sure there was some of that kind of thinking going on. This is the game that, other than the two Detroit games, this is the measuring stick. So what are they going to be when they get in the playoffs? How are they have to play on the road the entire playoffs. And so I think this is kind of going to be a microcosm of what it's going to be like on the road. What do you think?
Well, two things. First of all, we have to congratulate the Packers for making the playoffs 2 years in a row with the youngest team in the league. It's amazing. When they do the Matt LaFleur documentary, when they do the Brian Gutekunst documentary when they're old and like your age, when they're old, like really old, they're going to say, how in the hell did you do it? You drafted guys and they had to play and you made the playoffs. But the good thing about it, Tom, that's so amazing, they did that last year. We trying to get to a Super Bowl. And I just think it's remarkable that now the next thing is just the reason why I wanted to give Matt LaFleur some kudos. He did some things, Tom, that I was very excited about. Now, you remember the pick play that cost us, allegedly, probably cost us the game, that the referees threw the flag in Detroit. Remember they did that?
Yep.
So, okay, really evolved that play. So Wicks, who's one of my favorites, when you come in, just stay there. The guy gonna run into you.
Right.
And when he falls, just pick and then roll. Touchdown.
Yeah.
Right. It's amazing. That's when you say to yourself, okay, we're not gonna run the shallow crosses anymore and possibly get a pick. We're gonna go. This is where we belong. We got here first. If the guy runs into me, there's no foul. As soon as he touches you, and he's trying to get past you to get to his guy, roll inside because your guy on your hip.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
I think what I like about that
That
is
was amazing.
that staff isn't stubborn to the point where, okay, you call it against us, we're going to run it again, and we're going to show you we can run that play.
Yes.
The one in Detroit I'm talking about.
Yes.
They said, all right, if they're going to call that on us, let's adjust and figure out another way to make that play work. And they did. So you have to give them a lot of credit for that.
Now the shuffle pass, I also like the shuffle pass that they lost 2 yards on.
You did?
I loved it. Just make your block.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes the other guy gets paid too. The guy made a great play.
Yeah.
But I saw a lot of new things. Some worked, some didn't. But I like that because we're like we're in test mode. Because we got it on films, but we got a version of that Minnesota, Chicago, and whoever you play in the playoff, they don't know nothing about it because we have plays that we'll try and we'll go back to the lab and kind of recreate it.
Yeah.
Give something to think about.
And I think, they had a long week through the Monday night game. And I know they were looking at Minnesota tape at the end once they had gotten everything done with New Orleans. And I wouldn't be surprised if they were saying to themselves, let's try some things that maybe would work against the Saints, but would also have some sort of way to apply to how we're going to play the Vikings and see, whether that works. I would bet that conversation came up at some point,
Yeah.
The other thing that I think I've come to accept is that this team is different than last year. They're not the same team, and people need to stop saying, when are they going to be this high-powered passing game? When are they going to find that groove again? And I don't think that's how they're going to win. I think they're going to have to. I think Josh Jacobs is the key to their team. Yes. Do you think it's possible they can keep winning that way?
100%. Last year, Jordan had where I would say S a J on his chest for Jordan. He had to do everything. 18 touchdowns, 1 interception. And sometimes the running game will work, sometimes it doesn't. But we want to get it to Aaron Jones in space anyway. This year, number 8 is the straw. They're going to stir this drink. And for it to taste amazing, we got to run the ball. 3 running backs scored touchdowns. And be honest with you, when Josh went out, Brooks ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And 31, Emmanuel, he wants all the smoke.
Yeah.
It just, they got 3 running backs to throw at you at any time to run that ball. Who does that look like in the past? San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
They got to the Super Bowl. They were just running the ball on you. Next thing you know, play action, the guy's wide open like Christian Watson was. But you got to run this ball when it's going to be 30 degrees, snowing, or they may have to go on the road somewhere 65. And guess what? They can spread it out and throw it too. Now they like 2 dimensions instead of 1. Jordan Love last year was 2nd in the league in touchdown passes. But here he may be middle of the pack. But Josh Jacobs is having a hell of a season. He only had 13 carries. And you know what? This is why I like Josh. Mainly because he likes my mac and cheese, but put that to the side. He's not one of these selfish guys. He likes that Brooks scored. He likes that Emmanuel scored. And then when he went out a little banged up, he don't feel all the pressure to go back because he got guys that can go. Brooks ran hard, and so did 31.
Mm-hmm.
And the offensive line, they always want to lean on people. I don't know when the last time Jordan was sacked multiple times in a game. I mean,
oh yeah, he's been sacked. I think the second fewest, or it might be the fewest now, percentage of times in the league. Yeah, and part of that is because they run the ball so much.
yes.
Part of it is their offensive line has played well, although I didn't think they had their best pass blocking game against the Saints. I thought they had a few issues. Let's talk about how this is going to translate to Minnesota. So
we must be switching to defense now because
yeah,
that's
well, let's. I think these things fit hand in hand. For one,
right.
Jacobs, if you win the toss in Minnesota, I'd absolutely take the ball and try to get one of these drives you've been getting the last two games against Seattle. And, they're phenomenal. The first two drives of each of the last two games has made the difference. And I don't know if they can do that against Minnesota, but they need to try, right? I mean, I would you come out just pounding Jacobs?
Yes, because there's a couple things that we know. We know that Minnesota is purple. And we know Brian Flores is going to blitz everybody. And if you don't have an answer for it, that's how they beat you. I used to love the blitz all the time. But the teams that ran the ball when we blitz a lot, because you don't need but one guy to be 6 inches to the left or the right, and you home run.
Yeah.
The physical,
you mean like the Denver Broncos?
There you go. Even when, that's a great point. When Terrell Owens went out, they still ran the ball. Even if you stop them, run the ball. Make it a physical game. Because you can't drop back and throw 40 times. That's what Minnesota wants you to do.
Right. And the problem, and that's where the defense comes in, is you really can't fall behind to Minnesota. Now, they did in the first game, 28-0, and they finally figured out how to slow them down and nearly came back and won. And you were talking about that before we went on air, that the games the Packers have lost this year have all been, they've been right in it till the end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you feel about the defense going in against Minnesota, but this is going to be a really good test for them.
If 56 is out there, I don't care who we play. If Edgerrin Cooper plays, the guy's amazing, truly amazing. I haven't seen a rookie play like this in a long time. I mean, he's starting to look like Fred Warner.
Yeah.
I mean, the Luke Kuechly types. They're like, just take over games.
Yeah.
And then
kind of reminds me of, except a faster version. Remember Cam Chancellor for the Seahawks?
Yes.
Who just played all the time and just hit people and blew people up and whatever. I mean, he's like a big safety, a big, fast safety.
Yeah. He's just smart, his instincts. I mean, he's a great teammate. And he makes 45. And these guys, he makes the linebackers better. 58. These guys, they love each other. And they just play like, I always felt like Eugene Robinson made me so much better. I mean, Darren Sharper, somebody that's like competition, because you see these guys attacking. So shouts out to the linebacker coach, the defensive staff. And I like when they do get big plays, they don't freak all out. Let's get to the next call.
Mm-hmm.
And that's without Jair Alexander. You're thinking you have a secondary that can get exposed. But I think 21 playing some of his best football.
I think he is too.
He's playing pretty good.
I think I think what they found is that it took him especially
Yeah.
to figure out how to play zone defense. And I think Valentine too.
Great point.
Those guys are press corners, used to playing man, used to using their speed, and playing zone's a completely different animal, don't you think?
No question about it. Because when you play in the zone, you got to know who's in front of you, who's on this side of you, both sides, and who's behind you. And any move is a big play, as we saw last week when they ran the high-low plays. You got to play it deep and short.
Right.
But if you're man, you just locked in. He's your guy. You can keep your head down. But when you're in the zone, you're zoning an area, and whoever comes in that area. So the defensive back coaches, the safety coaches, they've been coaching their tail off. And then they have the alphabet safeties with X and Zane's Z. I mean, because think about it. You got two safeties down, Buller and Evan Williams. That's devastating to people. Zane just goes in and just plays.
Yeah.
He just plays.
Has been really solid,
Yes. Very active.
Exploit that. But, it's hard to exploit a team, a player in a team concept. So the Packers don't. So they don't say, Jair, go cover this guy, and he's your guy, and the other team says, well, we'll scheme to get him open. They just scheme to stop everybody, and they know they're going to give up some completions, but it's about keeping teams out of the end zone.
Well, when Jair comes back, I don't know if he's going to come back because I know he's been practicing. But 25 can cover anybody. Nixon will cover anybody in the league. He can cover anybody.
Well, he'll try. He'll try. He'll give it 100%. That's for sure.
He ain't scared. He'll challenge you. But just stay close to, Justin Jefferson. Just wherever he goes, he's going to get 14 targets. Jordan Addison is going to get 13 targets. TJ Hawkinson going to get the rest. They don't want to throw the ball to nobody else. They don't.
Yeah.
But I think Hafley had this game circled, Tom. I got something for these boys next time. And you can look at the second half of the tape like I did a couple of days ago. Just the second half when they played the Vikings. They're like a totally different team. But again, it's on-the-job training. So you got to play these guys so they can get training before they get into the playoffs. Because a lot of these guys are used to playing in bowl games or going home, sitting around, getting ready to open Christmas presents. No, we grown men now. This is a job. So beating Minnesota can really shake it up. Because I don't know if they could ever get higher than 5. I just don't know.
They can't get higher than 5. 5 is the highest seed they can get. They have to beat Minnesota and Chicago, and Minnesota would have to lose to Detroit. But I don't know if it really matters because you don't know who you're going to play.
It's baked in the cake, one of my favorite phrases. So, but the rivalry of the last two teams, listen, we're in. But I remember we used to have the slogan, the North is not enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's this year. They ain't enough.
Right.
Nope, because Super Bowl 31 was in New Orleans. So this Super Bowl is in New Orleans. So you got to win 3 games, and they all may be on the road. That's why Matt said coach said road warriors. But you know what? They did it in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Went on the road. So it can be done, but the next 2 games has to be the momentum games, playing the 2 rivalries. But I got to say one thing about anxiety because I get therapy. I have no anxiety when McManus lines up the kick, Tom. 55 yards and that wet, snowy, man.
Yeah, he's on a roll.
Imagine how good we would be if he was here from day one.
Mm-hmm. They sure could have used him last year in the playoffs. That's for sure.
Yeah, I said that too. I told my nephew that. I said, imagine we had him last year. Probably
I
would.
can't think about that, you know.
I know, but it's still fun though. It's still fun.
Right.
But
So, all right, all that being said, we got to go to your pick. Let us know.
Yeah,
how
so
you pick on Sunday.
this is I really feel like the Packers are on a roll right now. In certain areas, Tom, they're starting to grow up quickly. But I think we know now what we need to do on offense: run the football, play action. And if Christian Watson can't play, Wicks, let's go. Dobbs already know what he wants to do. You know, so but the key to it, if they score 30 points against any team, they can win.
Mm-hmm.
So my prediction will be the Packers 30 and Minnesota will be 27. And they'll be put in position that people are going to say in the league, is this one of the hottest teams? Do you really want to play the Green Bay Packers? And that's what I'm hoping happens.
Okay. All right. There you have it.
Yeah.
We will be back a week from now. There's no X's and O's this week because we're apart, but we will do it next week after the Vikings game. We'll have a good chance to really break down that game and analyze where the Packers are moving forward. So want to wish everybody happy holidays, and you have some people you'd like to thank?
Yes, I will be in for they flex the they flexed the game, of course. So I hope people know that they moved it to 325 is the time, 315.
Yes, that's correct.
But I will be at the Tin Can Roadhouse on Durand Avenue. It's in Union Grove. We'll be there like at 1:30, like 2 o'clock. And so if you're in the Racine, Kenosha area, swing on by. It's for a very good benefit. And it's the Trent McReynolds Scholarship Fund. And we're going to have a lot of fun there. And you're going to have a lot of people swing by. So, you can call Bill McReynolds at 262-930-8210. So swing by. And I want to thank Pick and Save, of course, where I always get all my groceries and things of that nature. MilwaukeeWindowGuys.com. Last chance to get those windows and get the appointments and everything. And again, the last thing I want to thank, Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shields of Wisconsin, for renewing my Butler versus Bullying program for 2025. This year we talked to over 30 schools, and we had that tragedy down in the Madison area, but I always try to work on mental health and anti-bullying and things of that nature. So if you want to be a sponsor of that particular program, just go to LeRoyButlerInc.com and send me an email, and we'll bring you on as a sponsor. Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to everybody. And a big shout out to Janet for putting up with Tom all these years. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just pray for her every night.
And yours as well.
Yeah. And thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And I hope everybody has a safe and happy holiday. And we'll see you after the Vikings game. What, 5 days?
Yes, coming up quick.
Keeps rolling. All right. We'll see you, folks. Take care.